Oh, this one's gonna upset a few people. Let's talk about Trials of Osiris and how bad the system is. But wait, I do want to say that I absolutely love Trials of Osiris. I don't care if I lose every single game, realistically. I like the competition side of it. I do like playing against better players. I do like learning how to be a better player. When I start off on Trials of Osiris on a weekend, I'm useless. I'm just standing there trying to challenge everyone, even if I've got low health. By the end of that weekend, I am picking my shots better. I'm dodging in and out of cover when I get hit. I'm not trying to challenge with low health. My aim is better. I've worked out what guns I like and what guns I want to use and what feels nice. And I'm having a decent experience in terms of shooting at people and stuff of that nature. However, I feel like Trials of Osiris just is not a good system at all. It also has a lot to do with what the map is. Bannerfall this week, absolutely awful. In my opinion, one of the best 6v6 maps, but utterly disgracefully bad when it comes to something like Trials. Unless you're an absolute god, I'm sure you enjoy. But for me, there's just not a lot of things you can do on that map to counter a lot of people who are really good at the game. You can fight from range, sure, but if someone knows what they're doing, they're gonna absolutely obliterate you, and that's what kept happening to me. But it was happening in a very weird and funny way that I cannot explain. I would play a game on the very first game of my card. I played a persistence passage, so basically you need 2 wins on the card without any losses, and then you are pretty much just getting to 7 wins to get the Adept weapon. So as long as you get those 2 wins back to back at the start, you can keep playing all weekend until you hit 7 wins and you get the thing. The only problem is that after a win, if you lose straight away, you go back a game. So let's say I'm on 4 games, 1, and then I go into the next game and I get stomped, I go back to 3 games. Then if I keep losing and keep losing, I think it stays at 3 games. But if I get lucky and I get another game, I get to 4 wins again. But usually straight after that, I get absolutely obliterated. So no matter what kind of progress you try to make, the game kind of matches you up with people that are way out of your league, and they ruin your chances of progressing through the card. I have this weekend, I think, 25 wins and 24 losses. And it is solely because I would play the first game and it would either be a close game or I would stomp people. Because I'm not terrible at Crucible, but I'm not incredible either. I'm just okay. I would sometimes get like a 5-0 very quick match, or like a 5-4, 5-3 for the very first game, and I feel like, oh cool, that was fun, I enjoyed that. And then the next game is utterly insane, absolutely insane. It's like that very first game, they're judging what level you're playing at, and then they just shove you into lobbies where they think that that's the level that you're playing at, especially if you go something like 5-0. The game, in my opinion, the game reads that as like, this person's really good, and then they match you up with absolutely ridiculously good players, and then you lose that game and you have to reset the card because you don't have the back-to-back wins at the start. The amount of times I reset my passage was horrific. But I will say it's way more friendly to be a solo player in the Trials of Osiris list for rewards, because every win you do get, you get the weekly weapon. Not the Adept version, but you get the weekly weapon, which is great. However, it's incredibly frustrating when you do want to, well, not even want to get the Adept weapon, you just want to play and win and have a decent time. Even if you lose, you want to enjoy it. You cannot do that in Trials. I played a team where my teammates, I was the best person on the team, and if I'm the best person on the team, we're struggling. It's as simple as that. I looked on Trials report, and me and my 2 teammates had a total of 17 flawlesses. In the history of Trials of Osiris, I have 7 of those, and I got carried to them. Just one of the players we were playing had over 450 flawlesses. His KD assist of the week was like 3.52. Mine's like 0.7. So why is it that I get matched up against these absolute Trials gods when my teammates are below my skill level? And that's not their fault. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying the system seems to be broken, because it's very, very, very rare that because when you queue in single, you play against single people. That one single person who's on the other team who is incredible with 400 flawlesses, why is he never on my team? Now that might sound a bit entitled, but it's just so true, because I would like to make some progress on my passage. And like I said, I love playing against people and I love learning how to play a map and what weapons work. But ultimately, it becomes incredibly soul-crushing. I'm not joking. I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning last night trying to get some wins. The maximum amount of wins I could get together was 4. By the end of it, I was tired. I wanted to cry. I wanted to literally cry out of frustration and anger. And that's got nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that I just was like, why can't I just make progress? Like, it was just like, what is that? Like, I just hit a brick wall and it was so frustrating. And then in other games, I was playing people who'd been flawless multiple times this week. Why are they allowed to be in my card where I'm not flawless at all? I've had to reset my card probably about 12 to 15 times. Why can't the game realize that that's not a fair match? And why is it so consistent and often that happens? It's I cannot get my head around it. And on the matchmaking little blurb thing that pops up, it says, when you are on an unflawed card, matchmaking does not utilize skill. When on a flawed card, matchmaking prefers players with similar weekly performance in Trials of Osiris. That to me is backwards, absolutely backwards. Because if I'm on a flawed card, there's no point in me playing. The whole point of Trials of Osiris is trying to get to the lighthouse, trying to get a specific reward, trying to string together a lot of wins to be able to get the end reward of this whole activity. But because I'm unflawed, I have to play against people who've been flawless 10 times, who have got like a 6 KD, who are literally jumping off the walls like Spider-Man and whipping me up and I can't move, and jumping over me, shotgunning me in the back of the head, taking my whole family and kidnapping them, and it's just ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying skill-based matchmaking should return, but I prefer it over this system now. I always preferred it over this system. Yeah, because you're bad, you need to get good. I don't need to get good at all. I enjoy the experience of Trials of Osiris, the PvP aspect, the competitiveness of it. It's just incredibly frustrating that as an average player, you cannot make any progress at all, because it doesn't matter how good you get. There's people out there who play Crucible 10 hours a day, every single day, and are absolute gods who will come up against you and ruin your card. And that to me is just completely unfair. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who goes flawless should be in some sort of flawless pool, but I think for most people that was more enjoyable. It's only not enjoyable for those people who are in that flawless pool, and it's exactly the same as what it is for us now. We can't have fun, we can't enjoy the experience because we're playing against these people who are absolute gods, and fair play to them. I love a good player. I wish I was that good. You have obviously worked to be that good, and it's whatever. But I shouldn't have to face you every second game in Trials. Give me 4 games of just average play, where the games are 4-4 with the final round coming down determines who's better on that round wins the game. I'd prefer that, because if I lost in that situation, I'd be like, okay, cool. It was a close game. I really felt like we could have took it if we made this decision instead of that decision. But then I join games after, on my second win on my card, where I'm playing against these gods, and immediately after the first round, one of my teammates leave. And then the rest of the game is me just jumping off the edge of the map. What is the point in that? I'm sure that's not what Bungie want for their playlists and stuff. Or maybe it is, who knows. But all in all, I love Trials of Osiris. I love playing better at Crucible, and it means something. It means that I could potentially get a good reward. However, it is incredibly frustrating, the matchmaking system, and just the way that it happens. It's always 1 win, loss, reset, 1 win, get absolutely obliterated, reset, 1 win, maybe a second win, get obliterated 4 times in a row, have to reset. I never get those people on my team that are on the other team killing me. Ugh. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Do you enjoy Trials of Osiris? I'm genuinely interested how people feel about Trials of Osiris, because I love it and hate it at the same time. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy, and now you guys have been awesome.